because the cave's water is on it. Cave's water is powered by it. And it's just, cave's water, right, it's like a dream place. So really anything can happen. You can think a monster or a demon could just crawl right out of a tree and attack you. If you think about that, it's something bad that could happen. Your worst fears, if you think you can't think about them, because caves water can happen with anything. You can think of, like, for actually the first time, yeah, if you can think of, you just have to think about it in your head or talk about it, yell it out loud, and that will come up like a deer. A bunch of deers will just, come. So you have to be careful. Like, it can be good, it can be bad. And the first thing, actually, they have a river. There's a river in the forest. They're walking along the river, and they see fish. And Gansey goes, huh, I've read about river fish before. In his head, he thinks this is about a second. I read about river fish before. There's a red type that's called summon. And they're red, right? They're red fish. And he says, yeah. In his head, like, they're red because they should be red. But he goes, wait, were they red when you walked in? Yeah, so they're people. And they go, no. And so they don't, but in your head, right, as you're seeing it, they don't change to red. It's like they were always red, but you still know that they used to be brown or silver or whatever the color was before it was red. And so, and one of Gansey's thing is, he is deathly allergic to wasps and bees, any kind of sting like that. It's really scary because one sting can end his life, and he's been very, never mind. And so one time they were, every once in a while they have a clue, right? They get onto something and they go find it. So one time they find this cave and they think Glendower's buried. The cave is underground, so, and they go down the cave, think what's there. Gansey they're attached to a tether, like to each other. That's pretty smart. Gansey is really skilled in a bunch of stuff. That's his thing. Gansey knows so much stuff too. That's his thing. He's very wise and knowledgeable. And he knows how to rock climb, right? He used to rock climb before. He brings his harness and all his equipment, and he tethers them to each other. But he falls in a hole. But no one else falls because there's like 4 different people anchoring him back. And, he's scared, and some sort of noise is coming out of the pit below. It's not really clear, and then Gansey thinks, of course, because he's scared, terrified of wasps because they could kill him. In his head, he goes, he thinks that could be wasps buzzing. And I don't know if it already was wasps, or just because he thought of that. And of course, they hear wasps buzzing, right? A bunch of them below him. When he's in the hole, he can't get out. And they're all freaking, especially Blue. Blue's freaking out because, well, she falls in love with him. She does. That's their love. That's a love thing. But eventually, everyone thinks, okay, those are birds, not wasps. Those are birds. That's birds flapping wings, whatever. It's not wasps. They all have to think of that and make sure that it's not wasps, because it's really just in Gansey's head. That's his fear. That's what it makes it, but it's okay. It goes away. And so I just told you that's the love thing in the series. Blue has been told all her life that by psychics, actual psychics, that whoever she falls in love with will know. The person she kisses will die. Just die. Nothing, no specific. The person she kisses will die. It's not like she kisses him and then he just dies. Like, her kiss is like poisonous or something. Or her kiss, she kisses him gets attacked by a bear randomly. That could happen, but she doesn't know, so she's being careful. But she falls in love with Gansey. And eventually, the whole time she's like, I can't do that. I can't, kiss him because he will die. Oh, sorry, and the prophecy is that when you kiss your true love, will die, so he's her true love. And eventually he knows that, and so they can't do that. And they know, so, it's kind of ironic, but not really, it's just common sense. So, she knows he's gonna die in a year. And she also knows that she just met him and fell in love with him, and her true love's kiss is supposed to kill them, so put two and two together, that basically means they kiss, he dies. He does die in that year. It's gonna happen. It's not like, sometimes in movies, oh, they're like, I don't know why, I saw this in one movie, they say, that's the future, but that's one path, you can change your own future. No, that's not really how it works. At least not in this scenario. Wait, okay, that might be how it works. I really don't think so. He will definitely die if she kisses him. He's gonna die in that year. So she can't kiss him, she doesn't want to. But she falls in love with him, he falls in love with her. And the last book. They've been looking for a while. They find the cave, nothing's in the cave. They find another cave, nothing's in that cave. And in the second cave they find though. The second cave they find. They find the cave and it's supposed to have cursed this guy somehow, but they find it and go into it. They think maybe Glendower is buried down there, but they haven't really gotten their hopes up until they see this like tomb door, big tomb door, and it has ravens on it. And they get kind of excited that it's Glendower's tomb. Owen Glendower, the Welsh king. It's his tomb. It's gonna happen. They're all there, and they open it, and there's like, you can tell it's like very ancient. There's ravens everywhere, like carved into the walls, and like ancient stuff. And they're about to open the tomb. They think it's gonna happen. They think that's him. They think that's him, and they open it, and they see someone with a lot of hair. That's how they describe it. They don't think, oh, that's long hair, that's a girl, not a guy. He has a lot of hair. And then, but it's, it is a girl, and she's resting on her face, like on her stomach, instead of how people are in graves like this. She's on her stomach, and that's a thing that people did to witches. That's how they buried witches back in the medieval times, Owen Glendower's time, if they were bad, to punish them. I don't know. And that's wrong. And then it's creepy, because she turns over and sits up and looks at them, and she's alive, she can talk and stuff. And it's a girl, and they find out later that it's his daughter, apparently, and she got punished because she killed people. But for the right reasons, according to her, and it was for her father. But she's a psycho because she was actually awake the whole time she was in that tomb. That was hundreds of years. That's a long time. I would go crazy if I were her as well. So they have to deal with her. She used to live in Blue's house. They already have a lot of people, but this Glendower chick is just crazy. I'm not gonna say what happens. They're running around a lot trying to find Glendower, and it's cool because later Gansey gets his power. You know, he's already so confident. He's so his own man, and they find out that he has the power to like command. Ronan already can. Caves Border already likes him because he's the dreamer. He goes to Caves Water every day. They know him. They recognize him, so they help him, right? But Gansey, so they listen to him, but they listen to Gansey too. They find out that he can be like, Caves Water, save my life, and they'll just do it. Or you can say, Caves Water, or you can just say, shout into the night, show me Glendower, and a whole pack of raven. Oh, a flock of crows, by the way, is called a murder of crows. That's pretty cool, but not ravens. I don't know. I don't think it's ravens. This whole flock of ravens just comes and flies, and he knows, okay, that was showing me Glendower. That's at the end of the book. And so they all kind of, yeah, exactly. So he has a power, Ronan has a power. They all kind of have like their thing. But, and then there's this one passage. The book has a whole feeling to it. And there's this one paragraph, not really a passage, it's kind of short, but it kind of gives you a hint about like how the book feels. Chapter 4. The forest was Ronan. He was lying on his face in the dirt, his arms outstretched, his fingers digging down into the soil for the ley line's energy. He smelled leaves burning and falling, death and rebirth. The air was his blood. The voices were muttering to him from the branches were his own, tracked over themselves. Ronan looped, Ronan again, Ronan again.